Ladies and gentlemen, the following TNA Knockout contest is scheduled for one fall. Introducing first from Memphis, Tennessee, Sojo Bolt.
You want a big time, big league atmosphere? You're going to get it Sunday, June the 21st. TNA headed to the Motor City, Detroit, Michigan. The home of the Detroit Pistons, the Palace at Auburn Hills. We're back on pay-per-view with Slammiversary.
Her opponent from Damascus, Syria, Raisha Saeed.
It's Mike Tenay, it's Don West. We're at ringside for this Explosion exclusive TNA Knockout one-on-one matchup featuring Sojourner Bolt and the young lady who has been associated with Awesome Kong for quite some time here in TNA, Raisha Saeed.
Mike, today you brought it up. It is Sunday, June the 21st. 7 years. 7 years. Unbelievable King of the Mountain matchup. And I'll tell you what else. You mentioned it. Detroit, Michigan, and it is going to be an unbelievable atmosphere. And I'll tell you what. I'm counting the days.
You ready for history to be made? Because not only one King of the Mountain match on June the 21st at Slammiversary for the TNA World Heavyweight Championship, but first time ever, 2 King of the Mountain matches in one night, and both very important bouts, both title bouts, because the other will be for the TNA X Division Championship.
Now, I admit, Mike, those are the 2 most important things about that Slammiversary because it's never been done before, but third on that list, Mike, and I think you'll agree with me, is if you want to buy an automobile, now's the time. Detroit, I'm telling you, you ought to be able to go in there any Chrysler place and just put cash down and walk out with anything. Think about it.
Now,
we're going to make a killing.
I'm going to be busy in Detroit. I'm going to go down to Nemo's, have me a beer and a hamburger. Friday night, I'll be at the Tiger game at Comerica Park.
I'm car shopping.
When am I going to have time to go car shopping in Detroit?
I'll tell you something, baby. When you walk in there and pull out with a brand new Corvette for about 20 grand, I think you need to contemplate that move.
Oh, what a shot that time by Sojo. Takes Raisha down. Yes, 2 King of the Mountain bouts. And watch her measure from the outside in. Slingshot.
Great elbow.
And drop the elbow. Gonna go for the pin here. Watch this cover. Watch this pin. Hebner counts 2 only. We know at this point in the TNA World Heavyweight Championship match, 3 of the 5 competitors have been established. The defending champion, Mick Foley. We know 2 of the challengers,
Absolutely.
AJ Styles, Jeff Jarrett. They both qualified, waiting to fill the other 2 slots. You know, Jeff Jarrett would love nothing more than to not only win his namesake match, but to gain back the World Heavyweight title at the expense of Mick Foley. What a power struggle that's been.
Absolutely. I don't believe JJ's hamstring is going to be well enough for him to be able to fully be able to compete in that match to the utmost of his ability. But the bottom line is, think about what's going to be at stake. Mick Foley defending that title again. Like I've always said, some people think he's certifiably insane. Some people think he's a diabolical genius. The bottom line is he's so unpredictable that he's so hard to prepare for. But one thing about it, we also know that AJ Styles is going to be in it as well.
Yeah, we talked about in recent weeks how Curtis Granderson, the star outfielder, all-star outfielder for the Detroit Tigers, will be a major part of Slammiversary. And I have been told that in that King of the Mountain X Division match, he is going to be the individual who holds the championship belt, and he will also present it to the winner on June the 21st. Here's Sojo, here's the cover, and no, 2 only.
My fantasy center fielder. I know I've told you this many times, but that's the you know what?
Over
and over.
And over again.
Tell you what, though, buddy, I have an eye for talent. I don't know if you know this, but before I got involved in this, I used to scout for professional baseball players. I'm sure you've heard of some of the guys that I found out in the sticks.
Yeah,
I think
right
Willie
ahead.
Mays comes to mind. I think Hank Aaron. I think people like Willie McCovey, Ernie Banks, Billy Williams. Let me tell you something. They were just ball players till I spotted them.
I think you missed Ted Williams, Stan Musial, and Babe Ruth while you were at it. Backdrop suplex by Raisha. Yeah, first time ever. We talked about the history involved with the 2 King of the Mountains. Also first time ever that a fantasy baseball geek has been able to be that close to one of his players. I'm going to keep him, some kind of a distance between you and Curtis. I'm sure he's too fond of the stalker aspect of you being at ringside.
I'll tell you what, Raisha Saeed, somebody who's on fire right now. Tell you what, I was speaking with her the other day, and
yeah, and what language was that?
Syrian.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, I speak it very well. 1, 2. No, not quite. No, I tell you what, we talked about a lot of things, about a relationship with Awesome Kong.
Right.
Yeah, about the situation, about the dating life in Syria, what that's all about. Kind of
Boy, I
different.
bet that's a barrel of fun,
kind of
isn't
different
it?
over there. Yeah,
imagine.
but it is modern over there. You'd be surprised.
Sojo stops the onslaught of Raisha, that series of punches. She counters with kicks, then able to float right over. And here she comes out of the corner, but Raisha caught her with a double leg. Gonna roll her over and go. Boston Crab style submission hold.
She's got it.
But
She's
instead,
got it.
she dropped straight down.
The old Damascus drop. 2,
and
done.
that's great.
Here's your winner, Raisha Saeed.
Raisha Saeed gets the W, gets the win on Explosion. We're headed to Detroit, Michigan for Slammiversary. 2 huge King of the Mountain matchups. So much more June the 21st, including Don West buying a Corvette. Was it Corvette?
Corvette.